Let me guess. You checked your phone 5 minutes ago. You checked it again just now. You're replaying that one conversation in your head, over and over, trying to figure out what you did wrong. You're exhausted, aren't you? Here is the brutal truth that nobody tells you. You are not suffering because you a bad person. You aren't suffering because you're unlucky. You are suffering because you are addicted to caring. You've handed the remote control of your emotions to other people, and then you're surprised when they change the channel to a horror movie. But what if you could just unplug? What if you could look at the person who hurt you, or the memory that haunts you, and feel absolutely nothing? Not anger, not sadness, just silence. Today, we aren't just talking about getting over it. We are talking about building a fortress. We're going to use the strategies of Niccolò Machiavelli to detach from people, pain, and the past. By the end of this video, you won't just be healed, you'll be unbreakable. We have been programmed since birth to be nice. We're told that if we give enough love, we'll get love back. If we sacrifice enough, people will appreciate us. That is a lie, and it's a dangerous one. In the real world, the strategic world, excessive empathy is a weakness. It's blood in the water for sharks. Niccolò Machiavelli is often painted as a villain. People think he was evil, but he wasn't evil. He was a realist. He understood that the world doesn't run on hopes and dreams. It runs on power dynamics. Machiavelli said, "He who seeks to be liked by everyone will be feared by no one." Think about that. When you are desperate to keep people around, you become a servant to their whims. You tolerate disrespect because you're terrified of losing them. And the irony? The more you cling, the less they respect you. So step one of building a mind that never breaks is realizing that your kindness has become a cage. Today, we break the lock. We are going to learn how to detach. And we're starting with the hardest one first: people. Why is it so hard to let go of someone who treats you like garbage? Seriously, think about it. If you went to a restaurant and the waiter spit in your food, you wouldn't beg for a second date. You'd leave. But with relationships, friends, family, or partners, we stay. Why? Because of the idealization trap. You aren't in love with them. You aren't attached to who they actually are. You are attached to the movie trailer of them you created in your head. Machiavelli taught us to look at actions, never words. Words are cheap. Words are free. But actions? Actions cost energy. Here is a practical exercise you can do right now. I call it the mute button. Imagine you mute everything this person says. Ignore their apologies. Ignore their promises. Look strictly at what they do. They say they care, but they leave you on red for days. They say they respect you, but they flirt with others in front of you. The action is the truth. The word is the manipulation. Once you accept that the fantasy version of them is dead, detaching becomes easy. You aren't losing a soulmate. You're just waking up from a dream. Now, how do you actually do it? How do you detach without causing a massive scene? Most people think detachment means blocking them, screaming at them, or writing a 10-page letter explaining your feelings. Don't do that. Explaining yourself to someone who doesn't listen is a waste of your ammunition. It shows them you still care. It shows them you are still trying to win them over. True Machiavellian detachment is the strategic retreat. It's the starvation method. If you stop watering a plant, what happens? It withers. If you stop feeding a narcissist or a toxic person your energy, they starve. You don't announce your departure. You just become unavailable. You take longer to reply. Your answers become shorter. Yes, no, okay. You become a gray rock, boring, uninteresting, and impenetrable. This is the ultimate power move. When you scream, they know they hurt you. When you go silent, they have no idea what you're thinking. You reclaim the mystery. You reclaim your power. But there is a catch. Detaching from people is only the first layer of the onion. Even if you block their number, you're still stuck with the memories, right? You're still stuck with the sunk cost of all the years you wasted. That brings us to the most dangerous enemy of all, the past. And trust me, what I'm about to tell you about your memories is going to make you question everything you remember. So, we've covered how to detach from people. We've covered how to stop chasing those who run away from you. But now we have to face the boss level. We have to face the enemy that lives inside your own head, the past. You see, detaching from a person is actually the easy part. You can block a number. You can move to a new city. You can delete the photos. But you cannot block a memory. You can't delete the years you invested. And this brings us to the single biggest reason why smart people stay in miserable situations. It's a concept called the sunk cost fallacy. Imagine you're at a casino. You've been sitting at the blackjack table for 4 hours. You are down $5,000. You are tired, you are hungry, and you know the odds are against you. But you don't leave. You stay. Why? Because you tell yourself, I've already put so much money in. I can't leave now. If I leave now, it was all for nothing. That is the sunk cost fallacy. It is the irrational belief that you must continue a mistake just because you spent a long time making it. You do this in your life every single day. You say things like, we've been friends for 10 years. I can't just cut them off, even though they've been toxic for 9 of those years. You say, I've put 5 years into this relationship, or I studied this degree for 4 years. You are treating your past like a debt that you have to pay off. But here is the Machiavellian perspective. The past is gone. It is ash. It doesn't exist anymore. A strategic leader, a general in war, does not look at the soldiers he lost yesterday and refuse to change tactics because he owes it to them to keep dying. No, he looks at the soldiers he has left today. He looks at the battlefield as it is right now. If you are holding on to a painful past because of the time you invested, you aren't being loyal. You're just being a bad gambler. You are throwing good time after bad time. You have to be willing to look at that investment and say, I lost. Say it with me. I lost that time. It stings, doesn't it? It hurts your ego. But admitting you lost the last 5 years is the only way to save the next 50. You have to be willing to amputate the dead limb to save the body. But the sunk cost isn't the only trap. The past has another weapon, a much more subtle and dangerous one. It's called nostalgia. And I need you to listen closely to this. Nostalgia is a liar. Your brain is a dishonest video editor. When you look back at that person who broke your heart, or that time in your life when you thought you were happy, your brain applies a filter. It deletes the boring parts. It deletes the fights. It deletes the anxiety you felt walking on eggshells. It only plays the highlight reel. It shows you the sunset, the laughter, the one good day you had in a month of bad ones. You are mourning a version of the past that never actually existed. Machiavelli knew that men are prone to glory in the old days because they fear the uncertainty of the future. But if you want a mind that never breaks, you must practice radical acceptance. Radical acceptance is not liking what happened. It's not forgiving who did it. It is simply accepting that it did happen, and no amount of thinking, crying, or replaying the scenario will change the physics of reality. Stop asking, why did this happen to me? That is a victim's question. It assumes there is a fair referee in the sky keeping score. There isn't. Start asking the strategic question. It happened. Now what? Now what? Is the most powerful phrase in the English language. It moves you from the past to the present. My heart is broken. Okay. Now what? I lost my job. Okay. Now what? The now what forces your brain to switch from emotional wallowing to tactical planning. But even if you logically accept the past, you still have to deal with the feeling in your chest. the heaviness, the anger, the grief. So let's move to the third pillar of this philosophy, detaching from pain. This is where most people get it wrong. We live in a society that is terrified of pain. We numb it with scrolling, with food, with substances, with distractions. We treat pain like it's a virus that needs to be eradicated. But if you want to be unbreakable, you have to change your relationship with pain. You have to stop viewing pain as a punishment and start viewing it as data. Think about it biologically. If you touch a hot stove, your hand burns. That pain isn't the universe punishing you. It's your nervous system sending you a critical piece of information. Move your hand. Emotional pain is the exact same mechanism. If you feel lonely, that is data telling you that you need better connections. If you feel betrayed, that is data telling you that your boundaries were too loose. If you feel stuck, that is data telling you that you need to grow. The problem isn't the pain. The problem is that you are taking the pain personally. You are identifying with it. You say, I am sad. I am angry. Do you see the language there? I am. You are defining your entire existence by a temporary chemical fluctuation. I want you to try a Stoic exercise called the observer mode. The next time you feel a wave of crushing sadness or rage, I want you to stop. Don't fight it. Don't judge it. Just watch it. Imagine you are a scientist observing a lab experiment. Say to yourself, I am noticing a sensation of tightness in my chest. I am noticing my heart rate is elevated. I am noticing a feeling of grief. Do you feel the difference? When you say, I am sad, you are the sadness. When you say, I am noticing sadness, you are the observer. You are the sky, and the emotion is just a cloud passing through. Clouds can be dark, they can be stormy, they can be violent, but they cannot hurt the sky. The sky is vast. The sky is permanent. The cloud is temporary. This is how you detach. You don't turn off your emotions like a robot. You just stop letting them drive the car. You put them in the back seat. They can scream, they can cry, they can kick the seats, but you, the conscious mind, keep your hands on the wheel. But let's go deeper, because sometimes you don't just feel sad. Sometimes you feel angry. You feel a burning desire for revenge. You want the people who hurt you to pay. Good. I know, that sounds controversial. Aren't we supposed to be Zen? Aren't we supposed to let it go? Machiavelli wouldn't tell you to sit around and meditate while your enemies laugh at you. He would tell you to use every resource available to you. And anger? Anger is a resource. Anger is high-octane fuel. Sadness is heavy. It makes you want to stay in bed. But anger? Anger makes you want to move. It makes you want to prove them wrong. There is a concept I call the revenge arc, but it's not the kind of revenge you see in movies. You don't go slash their tires. You don't write mean comments on their social media. That is weak. That is pathetic. That shows them they still control you. The only real revenge, the only revenge that actually satisfies the soul, is massive, undeniable success. Take that energy, that sleepless night where you're seething with rage, and channel it. Go to the gym until your legs shake. Work on your business until your eyes blur. Study until you are smarter than everyone in the room. You use the pain as a battery. You say to the universe, you tried to break me? Fine. I will take this pain and I will build an empire with it. Imagine the person who hurt you looking at you in 5 years. They are still in the same place, doing the same things, complaining about the same problems. And they look up and see you. You are stronger. You are wealthier. You are calm. You are out of their league. You don't even have to say a word to them. Your existence is the punishment. Your absence is the weapon. That is how you transmute pain. You don't run from it. You use it. You practice emotional alchemy. You turn the lead of your suffering into the gold of your character. So, Where does this leave us? We have detached from the people who drain us by looking at their actions, not their words. We have detached from the past by accepting the sunk cost and refusing to let nostalgia lie to us. We have detached from pain by becoming the observer and using our aggression as fuel. But this isn't a one-time fix. You don't watch this video and suddenly become a monk. This is a daily war. Every morning, you will wake up and your brain will try to slide back into the old patterns. It will want to check their social media. It will want to replay the sad memories. It will want to feel like a victim. You have to catch it. You have to stand guard at the door of your mind. You need to establish what I call the fortress walls. These are your boundaries. And the most important boundary is the one you set with yourself. Make a contract with yourself today. I will no longer be a safe haven for people who harm me. I will no longer be a graveyard for dead memories. There is a tremendous freedom in this. When you stop needing people to understand you, you become powerful. When you stop needing the past to be different, you become present. When you stop fearing pain, you become limitless. You are building a mind that is self-contained. Like a ship at sea, the waves can crash against the hull, the storms can rage, but inside the captain's quarters, it is dry. It is warm, and the map is laid out on the table. You are the captain. You are the sovereign. So, I want you to take a breath. A real one. Feel the weight lifting off your shoulders. You don't have to carry it anymore. You can set it down. You can walk away. If you made it this far, you are part of the 1%. Most people clicked off when I told them to stop playing the victim. But you're still here. That tells me you are ready. If you are ready to build this fortress, if you are ready to detach and ascend, I want you to leave a comment below. Just one word, unbreakable. Type it, solidify it, make it a promise to yourself. And if you want to know more about the dark psychology of power and how to read the people around you so you never get hurt again, you need to watch this video right here. It's the missing piece of the puzzle. I'll see you there. Stay cold. Stay focused. Okay, so you understand the philosophy. You understand that the past is dead and that people are just acting according to their nature. But we have a problem. You still have to live in the real world. You still have to go to work tomorrow. You still have to see your family at Thanksgiving. You might even still have to live in the same house as the person you are detaching from. If you walk around acting like a cold, emotionless robot, you are going to paint a target on your back. Machiavelli warned us about this. He said, "It is necessary to be a fox to discover the snares and a lion to terrify the wolves." If you act too cold, people will think you are arrogant. They will try to humble you. They will try to provoke a reaction just to see if you bleed. So, how do you remain detached on the inside while functioning socially on the outside? You need to master social camouflage. Think of a spy. A spy doesn't walk into a room wearing a trench coat and sunglasses. A spy acts like everyone else. They smile. They make small talk. They ask, "How was your weekend?" But inside, they are completely alert. They are watching everything, but they are attached to nothing. This is how you must behave. You need to be polite, but hollow. When that toxic coworker tries to bait you into an argument, you don't ignore them completely. You smile, you nod, and you give them absolutely nothing of substance. You say, "That's an interesting perspective," and you keep walking. You give them the performance of a reaction without the energy of an emotion. This protects you. It keeps you hidden in plain sight. Now, let's talk about the hardest part of detachment. The relapse. It's easy to feel strong while you're watching this video. You feel pumped up. You feel unbreakable. But what happens at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday when you're lonely? What happens when you see a photo of them looking happy without you? Your brain is going to panic. It's going to scream, "Text them! Fix it!" Just one message. This is the danger zone. This is where 99% of people fail. You need a protocol for this. I call it the 24-hour rule. Make a rule for yourself. You are never allowed to act on a heavy emotion within 24 hours of feeling it. If you want to send that angry text, write it down in your notes app. Wait 24 hours. If you want to call your ex, wait 24 hours. I guarantee you, when you wake up the next morning, the chemicals in your brain will have settled. You will look at that text you almost sent, and you will think, thank God I didn't send that. I sound crazy. Time is the enemy of emotion. Emotion needs speed. Logic needs time. Buy yourself time. But let's go deeper. We need to talk about scarcity. Why do we chase people who pull away? Because they are scarce. Diamonds are valuable because they are rare. Oxygen is free, so we don't think about it until it's gone. For a long time, you have been oxygen. You were always available. You replied instantly. You were always free to hang out. You made yourself cheap. To build a mind that is respected, you must manufacture scarcity. This isn't about playing games. It's about having a life so full that you genuinely don't have time for nonsense. When you are busy building your body, your bank account, and your skills, you don't have to pretend to be busy. You are busy. And here's the magic trick. When you stop caring, they start chasing. It's a law of the universe. It's frustrating, but it's true. When you finally let go, when you finally detach and start glowing up on your own, that is exactly when they come back. They sense the shift in energy. They sense that the cord has been cut. And they will come back to test you. They will send a hey, miss you, text. They will like an old photo. This is called a hover attempt, like the vacuum cleaner. They are trying to suck you back in. And this ... this is your final exam. If you reply instantly, you fail. You prove to them that you were just waiting by the phone. You prove that your detachment was a fake. But if you look at that message, feel that little spike of dopamine, and then put the phone down and go back to work, that is mastery. You have to reach a point where your own self-respect is worth more to you than their validation. This brings us to the ultimate goal, the state of sovereignty. A sovereign nation relies on no one else for its survival. It imports nothing it cannot live without. You must become emotionally sovereign. This means diversifying your happiness. If 100% of your happiness comes from your partner, you are a slave to that partner. If 100% of your self-worth comes from your job, you are a slave to your boss. You need to build a portfolio of happiness. 20% comes from your fitness. 20% comes from your learning. 20% comes from your creative projects. 20% comes from nature and solitude. And the rest can come from people. If you have a diversified portfolio, and one person walks out of your life, you don't go bankrupt. You take a hit, sure, it hurts, but you don't collapse. You still have 80% of your life intact. This is how you build a mind that never breaks. You structure your life so that no single person has the power to destroy you. I want to leave you with one final thought, a visualization that I want you to carry with you. Imagine you are a mountain. The weather changes constantly. Sometimes there are storms. That's the anger. Sometimes there is fog. That's the confusion. Sometimes it is freezing cold. That's the loneliness. But the mountain does not bow to the storm. The mountain does not complain about the fog. It just sits there, solid, ancient, unmovable. The storm screams at the mountain, "Move!" And the mountain says nothing. It just waits. And eventually, the storm runs out of energy. The clouds break. The sun comes out. And the mountain is still there. You are the mountain. The people in your life, the pain in your heart, the memories of the past, they are just the weather. Let it rain. Let it thunder. Let it pass. Do not become the storm. Remain the mountain. Now, look at your life right now. Look at the things you are stressing about. In 5 years, none of this will matter. In 100 years, none of us will be here. This perspective shouldn't scare you. It should free you. It means that the only thing that truly matters is how you carry yourself through the fire. Did you beg? Or did you stand tall? Did you crumble? Or did you detach? The choice is yours. Every single day, the choice is yours. So I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you ready to cut the cords? Are you ready to take the power back? If you are, then you know what to do. You build the fortress. You mute the noise. And you focus on the only thing you can control, your own mind. Thank you for watching. If this video woke you up, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, you are the sovereign,